And you can see bet placed. Total potential payout is $88 and $46. Guys, that means that there is now $88.46 up for grabs on this channel. If you want to have an opportunity to win that amount, first of all, the Twins gotta win. You know when your wife or your girlfriend asks if her butt looks big in these jeans? What's up with this shirt? This thing looks like a quadruple XL in the camera. I promise it doesn't look this big in real life. It's literally just a regular large, but this thing looks huge. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing a collared shirt at 1 in the morning, I don't know. The simple answer is I don't know. Actually, I do know the reason. It just came out of the laundry and it was the first thing on the top of the pile, and I grabbed it. So this is what I'm rocking. Looks like I'm ready to go to the casino, honestly. And that might not be a bad thing considering the nature of this video, because we are here for Pick 5, Win 5. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between. Welcome back to my daily betting show, where it is my job to give you my 5 favorite plays in the sports betting world. We are coming off of an interesting day. Normally I say we're coming off of a 3-2 day, 2-3 day, 4-1 day, whatever. Well, we're coming off of is it 3 days? No, it's 2 days. We had the Pick 5, Win 5 on Wednesday. We went 1-3 on that day, but one of the games that we picked got postponed. They started it, played 3 innings, got rained out, moved to the next day. So that was yesterday. That was Thursday. And then on Thursday, we had the debut of On the Clock, which, if you guys missed out, was a super exciting series. I really enjoyed reading all of your comments and all of your feedback in the comment section. It seemed like it was a hit. So hopefully we can bring it back in the near future. I say hopefully, like I don't control what I do. We are bringing it back at some point in the future, maybe for the kickoff of the NFL season. Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see. But basically what the On the Clock series is going to be, and what it was, is I have 3 minutes to make a betting pick, and I get randomly assigned a game by a random number generator. And if my pick wins, then I send the money to one person in the comments who leaves a comment and subscribes to the channel. And that winner ended up being Luke. So huge shout out to Luke. I've been in contact with him and I have already sent him the money. I believe it was $88.46, 49 cents. I don't know. You would have seen it on the screen by now. But yeah, shout out to Luke and shout out to the Minnesota Twins for coming through with us. And because we did win that pick, we went 1-0 there. And then the game that got rained out, we went 1-0 on that because they ended up winning the game. So 3-3 over the last 2 days. I know it says yesterday's record 3-3. It's really over the last 2 days record. I'm still down just a small unit because, hey, it's sports betting. The casinos, the sports books, they're going to take a little bit of a fraction off the top, and we didn't place enough plus money bets. But we did hit 2 or 3 huge plus money bets the day before. Believe we got the Nationals for plus 160 or plus 165, something like that, and they did win that game. So that was pretty good to us. And now I'm hoping that these picks are pretty good. And here's just a little heads up. I think they are. I really like these. But before I give them to you guys, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. As of lately, I'm now giving away money with the On the Clock series. I'm also giving away $100 to one random subscriber when we hit 1,000 subscribers. We just crossed 800, so we are inching ever so close. Tremendously appreciate each and every one of you that have joined this community. And I want to put emphasis on community. This really does feel like a family. We're always bigging each other up in the comments. Sometimes we're talking picks, not even my picks. People just having conversations with one another. I love it. I love to see all of it. You guys are truly awesome. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's get right on into the picks. So excited I can't even talk. My first pick of the day, I'm going Blue Jays Guardians under 8.5 runs. Yes, it's Friday. It's supposed to be over Friday, but it's an under in this game. And let me tell you why. So on the mound for the Guardians here is going to be Tanner Bibby. He's 9-3 with a 3.01 ERA and a 121 WHIP, going against Chris Bassett of the Blue Jays, who is 12-6 with a 3.92 ERA and also a 121 WHIP. Both these guys got the same WHIP. Now Bibby has a 2.63 ERA this month and had a 1.78 ERA last month. And on top of that, he just played the Blue Jays 2 weeks ago. He threw a 7-inning shutout. Now Bassett has a 3.32 this month, 3.82 last month. Not quite as good, but still good. And he does have a 2.83 ERA at home, this game being played in Toronto. Now, if you look at the scoring over the last month, the Blue Jays are 21st. The Guardians are 29th. So obviously they're both in the bottom 10. And the Blue Jays, I do just want to say this. I talk about it all the time because it really gets on my nerves. You know how my favorite saying is, it's never the right time to do the wrong thing? it kind of applies here with the Blue Jays because they get guys and runners, they get runners in scoring position so many times and they just never convert them. I know the saying doesn't quite fully translate, but you get the point. You've done the hard work. Now it's the easy part. Just go out there, do your job, execute, and they don't do it. And it seems like that happens a lot more at home than it does on the road. Now, I was just talking about these teams being bottom 10 in scoring over the last month. If you add up their average runs per game, you get to 7.5. This line is at 8.5. I know that is not how you determine over-unders because then it would be straightforward and you would win every single time. But it does give us some indication of exactly what the run output has been like. And then the Blue Jays also have the second best bullpen ERA over the last month. The Guardians are 10th. So both teams bottom 10 in scoring, top 10 in bullpen ERAs. Good pitchers. I just think this is a good pick. Short and sweet. I know that I'm supposed to think every pick is a good pick, but I do really like this one. So I'm going to go Blue Jays Guardians under 8.5 for my first pick. My second one, I'm going Mets minus 1.5. Bet you're not used to hearing that, Mets fans. Minus 1.5 versus the Los Angeles Angels. Now, at the time I'm recording this, the line value here is plus 150. Let me say, if you're risk averse or maybe you just don't believe in the pick as much as I do, take the Mets on the money line because it's the safer pick. I mean, the odds will tell you that. I think they're minus 120, minus 130 on the money line, something like that when I'm recording it. But I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win big. And a big part of that reason will be Kodai Senga. He's a 30-year-old rookie, but if you haven't seen him, the guy is dealing. He's 10-6 with a 3.19 ERA and a 1.25 WHIP, going against Patrick Sandoval, who is 6-10 with a 4.08 ERA and a 1.45 WHIP. Now, Senga has given up no more than 3 earned runs in 11 straight starts. That's what I really like about him. This guy is ultra consistent. It's like, let me pull up his month ERAs for the last few months because I want to show you guys what exactly that I am talking about here. So if we look at his game log, he has a 3.28 ERA this month. He had a 1.93 last month. He had a 3.71 before that, and he had a 2.79 before that. So all of those under 4 straight months being under 4. Like I said, ultra consistent. At worst, he's like a 3.5 ERA guy, and that's pretty good, honestly, especially with the WHIP. And now Sandoval. He hasn't been that good. I mean, he's got a 4.74 ERA this month. I guess that's not terrible, but a 1.45 WHIP, that's pretty bad. And one reason that I do really love this pick is Shohei Ohtani has a torn UCL. I mean, in the same day Mike Trout goes back to the IL, Shohei also tears his UCL. Now, we don't know whether he is going to play in this game or not, so I totally understand if you guys are holding out to see, first of all, how that affects the line value. It's a double-edged sword because if he does play, then the value for the Mets is going to go up or the Angels are going to go down. You know what I'm saying? Depends on what side of the line you're on, whether or not you do want to wait it out. But I will say, even though Shohei has a chance to play, look, he did tear his UCL. Yes, we've seen other guys like Bryce Harper have played through similar injuries, but he's going to be in some level of discomfort, even though if it's a totally different motion, pitching versus batting, totally different motion, but it's going to be in the back of his mind. You can't convince me that he's not. And also, I mean, the morale of the Angels, look, they're not a good team to begin with. They know Shohei's leaving in the offseason, but their morale is going to be so low. Again, with Trout going back to the IL, Shohei, the Mr. Iron Man for them. Because that's the thing about Shohei. He only missed a couple games this season. He played in 157 last year and 155 the year before that. He's their Iron Man. And now they've seen him go down. I just don't think that you're going to be able to get much from this team. I mean, Shohei was literally like half of the offense in and of himself. Again, with him dinged up, I'm just not expecting much from them. The Mets are also 7th in scoring over the last 2 weeks. Yes, that's a small sample size, but the point is we're capitalizing on them while they do have the hot hand at the plate. And I also have in parentheses in my notes, when's the last time you can say that? 7th in scoring over the last 2 weeks. And the Mets do still have a winning record at home. A winning record at home. The Angels have a losing record on the road. And as bad as the Mets bullpen has been, the Angels has been even worse. And if we're looking at actual run line splits here, the Mets have covered in 8 of their last 11. The Angels in just 6 of their last 21. I can't believe I'm saying this because the Mets stink. But Mets minus 1.5. That's my second pick here. My third pick, I'm taking a team that does not stink. The Atlanta Braves on the run line, minus 1.5 versus the San Francisco Giants. I've got to say, I think I've missed like 3 or 4 Braves run lines in a row. So maybe fade me here if you're playing the trend game. But look, I love the Braves. I mean, everybody should. If you don't like the Braves, then I don't know what to tell you. They should be everyone's World Series favorites right now. And I love this guy, Spencer Strider. He's on the mound today. He is 14-4 with a 3.57 ERA and a 1.08 WHIP, going against Logan Webb, who's 9-9 with a 3.36 ERA and a 1.09 WHIP. So very good numbers coming out of Webb as well. Now, Strider, to show how good he's been lately, he gave up 6 earned runs in 2 innings 3 starts ago to the Pittsburgh Pirates. 6 earned runs in 2 innings, and he has a 2.70 ERA this month. Think about how good he has been in his 3 other starts. His last start, guess what? It was against the San Francisco Giants. He threw a 7-inning shutout, and he had 10 strikeouts. Are we going to get that again? That would be pretty hard to hit, but the guy's been dialed in. Again, just proved his worth against this same opponent. I think he's going to be in for a good day. Now, Webb does have a 2.63 ERA this month as well. I don't want to take that away from him whatsoever. But you know how I always talk about when I'm reviewing pitchers and I see that they've played the Braves, I will just subtract that from their numbers. Well, we're leaving it in to get the 2.63 ERA, and that's important because Webb's last start was against the Braves, and he gave up 4 earned runs in 6 innings. So literally, Strider's last start, 7 innings, no earned runs against the Giants. Webb's last start, 6 innings, 4 earned runs against the Braves. So if we're looking at -1.5 for the Braves and we just take that scenario, the Braves would be up 4-0, which means all they have to do is not lose by more than 2 runs in the final 2 or 3 innings, whatever the math works out to. I'm not going to waste my breath talking about the differences in offenses because over the last month, the Braves have the best offense in the league. The Giants have the worst offense in the league. Sure, the Giants, maybe they're a little better than how they've vindicated themselves lately, but the Braves do actually have the best offense in the league. It's not even remotely close. So I'm expecting a powerful outing from there here. This game is on the road in San Francisco. The last time I said the Braves were on the road, they were actually at home, but it is on the road this time. I've triple checked it. So we're getting 9 innings of guaranteed offense from these guys. And then we're looking at the run line splits again. I will say the Braves have only covered 1 time in their last 5 games, but they covered it in 7 out of 8 immediately before that. And then the Giants, they've covered in 4 out of 5, but they only covered in 3 of 13 immediately before that. So, I mean, they've both been hit or miss. I mean, they've been streaky. That's probably the best way to put it. I just think I can't bet against the Braves. I can't do it with 9 innings of offense. I'm going to trust them here. Also, the Braves have a really good bullpen. Giants is 15th over the last month in ERA. Braves -1.5. That is the 3rd pick here. We're going to go to the 4th pick now. And we are going to go with the Houston Astros, Detroit Tigers, over 8.5 total runs. Framber Valdez on the bump for the Astros in this one. He's 9-9 with a 3.55 ERA and a 1.13 WHIP, going against Matt Manning, who's 5-4 with a 4.31 ERA and a 1.14 WHIP. So yes, despite the differences in ERA and just general reputation, only 0.01 difference in their WHIP, which is a little bit interesting. Now, Valdez has a 4.71 ERA this month. Twice in his last 3 starts, he's given up 6 earned runs. And so if we look at his last 3 starts, it was the first one and then the third one. And that one in the middle, he still gave up 3 earned runs. So it's not like he had a shutout to balance it out. He's been consistently giving up a lot of runs as of late. He's also demonstrated maybe some anger issues. I mean, we've seen some questionable actions from him in the past, but he was getting smoked one day and he just deliberately took out a player. I can't remember who it was, and it's actually really bugging me. Was it a Marlins player? I think it was a Marlins player. He just tried to hit him right in the leg because he was frustrated. It seemed pretty intentional. But anyway, the point is he hasn't been that great lately. He also had a 7.29 ERA last month. So this is not just a last week or 2 thing. This is like 6-7 weeks of him being pretty bad. Manning does have a 4.30 ERA this month, which isn't awful, but I mean, 4.30 is not great. His last 2 starts have been good. His first 2 starts of the month were not. And I will say I also like the over here because the Astros are 3rd in scoring this month. The Tigers are only 20th, but they're seeing the ball well lately. This is the problem with me recording at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. It's that my brain doesn't connect to my mouth sometimes. Tigers have been seeing the ball well lately. Got it down that time. They've been hitting better. They've scored 4.5 runs per game over the last 10. Again, that's not groundbreaking, but their season average is only 4 per game. So at least they're up a half run per game. And they're taking on a strong offense here in the Astros, obviously. And we like the pitching matchup here. The Tigers have hit the over in 3 straight games. The Astros have hit the over in 6 straight games. So both teams trending over as of late. Bullpens are all right. Astros, I believe, are 9th. Tigers are 16th in ERA over the last month. So we're looking for runs early, but with Valdez, the way he's been playing, and Matt Manning, I think we're going to get that. So my 4th pick, my penultimate pick, I'm taking Astros, Tigers over 8.5, which brings us to the 5th and final pick. And guys, if I haven't convinced you by now, please subscribe to the channel. I'm coming out with daily betting picks and all sorts of other content. My 5th and final pick is the Tampa Bay Rays money line versus the New York Yankees. Garrett Cole on the mound here for the Yankees. They're knight in shining armor, although there have been chinks as of late. He's 10-4 with a 3.03 ERA and a 1.07 WHIP. Going against Zach Eflin of the Rays, who's 13-7 with a 3.58 ERA and a 1.03 WHIP, the lowest, I believe, of the day. 1.03 WHIP. Shout out to Zach Eflin. Garrett Cole, like I said, he's been starting to unravel just a little bit. I mean, who can blame him when he's being asked to support the absolute poverty franchise that is the New York Yankees? He's got a 5.25 ERA this month. 2 good starts, but 2 bad ones. Going against Eflin, he has a 3.27 ERA this month. He had 1 bad start, but he shut out the Yankees in 6 innings on August 1st. So he's seen this team recently. Now he's getting to face them on his home field, where the Rays, by the way, are 43-22. The Yankees only 25-33 on the road, and they have lost 10 of their last 11 games. Meanwhile, the Rays are back. They're 5th in scoring over the last month. They are 1st in scoring over the last 2 weeks. That offense, even without Wander Franco, it seemed to get a whole lot better. I don't know if I should be connecting the dots here, because supposedly Franco was a horrendous teammate. At least that's what the reports were. He was sent away from the team for a little bit because of how bad of a teammate he was. Again, this is all reported. So I don't know if his absence is the reason they're playing better, but the bottom line is they are playing better as of late. The Yankees bullpen has been performing better than the Rays recently. We'll say that. And it's probably better over the course of the season. Some of that maybe due to the injuries the Rays have been dealing with. But still, I think the offense of the Rays, with the way it's been playing lately, and really the way the Yankees offense has not been playing lately, aside from Aaron Judge clobbering 3 home runs in 1 game, there's been nothing to talk about with these guys for a long time. Rays money line, that is the 5th and final pick of the show. Let's do the final rundown. Blue Jays Guardians under 8.5 runs. Mets -1.5 or the money line if you're risk averse versus the Angels. Braves -1.5 versus the Giants. Astros-Tigers over 8.5 runs. And to close it out, Rays money line versus the Yankees. Guys, I forgot to mention this at the start, but boy, we have a tremendous guest joining us tomorrow. A very highly credentialed, highly respected guy in the sports betting industry. I am so stoked to have him on the channel. You guys need to be here for the Saturday episode of Pick 5, Win 5. But the only way you can guarantee that is if you're subscribed to the channel. So do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. Like the video if you did enjoy. Comment, let me know what your favorite plays of the day are. And until next time, I will see you all very soon. Have a great day.